Today, I will recap Beast Tamer. The story begins with a young man named Rain who was kicked out of the hero group and deemed useless as a beast tamer. Rain can't fight, so he is a burden and only bothers his teammates. Rain had considered them friends, but they treated Rain as a helper to carry things while adventuring.
あんたがお荷物だからよ。あんたはまるで役に立ってない。
これ以上僕たちを失望させないでくれ。仲間との縁が完全に切れたような気がした。
Knowing he was not needed, Rain immediately left and was confused about what to do. After talking with the children, it occurred to Rain to live freely like a migratory bird and to become an adventurer living on his own. Then he visited the Adventurers Guild to register as an adventurer. Rain had to pass the goblin slaying test and gather herbs. Because he is experienced, defeating goblins like that is very easy for him. He heard a woman scream when he wanted to look for herbs. Rain met a girl which a D-rank killer tiger attacked. Of course, Rain is no match for him. Rain also tries to buy time so that the girl can run. But the girl jumped and mustered her last strength to defeat the monster with one strike. Even though she managed to defeat him, she had no power left and wanted to faint because she was starving. Rain gave his food to a cat race named Kennedy. Rain realized that she was one of the strongest races, even though she couldn't use magic but had the strongest physical strength. After being fed, she thanked Rain and told her origins about herself. The reason Kennedy was there was that she was trying to travel. She was tired of her old life of only living in the hills. Kennedy asks Rain to tell her about himself. Rain also talked about himself joining the hero squad. He also shared his experience when they kicked him out. Hearing this made Kennedy angry even though she thought Rain was a very good person. Kennedy doesn't think he's weak. Instead, she thinks Rain is very strong and has extraordinary talent. Therefore, Kennedy asked Rain to tame it. He could tame the strongest race, so Rain was undoubtedly a great beast tamer.
新たな契約を結び、ここにエニシを作る。答えを。汝の名は？
奏。
After completing the test, Rain was declared passed and recognized as an F-rank adventurer. Due to his low rank, he could only take missions with little reward. But if Rain rises to a higher rank, the reward will increase too. When Rain met Kennedy to take on a new mission, suddenly, an adventurer was looking for trouble with him. That person wanted to make Kennedy his own. Of course, Rain wouldn't give it up, so they compete in strength by making Kennedy a bet.
Ready? Go!
Unexpectedly, Rain beat him so easily. After taming Kennedy, Rain gained physical strength on par with the strongest races. After that, they took on a mission to gather herbs. At the same time, there was a merchant who bandits surrounded. Rain immediately fought the bandits. Rain quickly defeated various armed enemies with only his bare hands. Meanwhile, Kennedy couldn't take her eyes off the fighting Rain, and she realized that she fell in love with him. According to the merchant's statement, the bandits were not only them. Other bandits were hiding in the headquarters. Rain decides to catch them. Arriving at the bandits' hideout, Rain used the poison bees to immobilize them and asked Kennedy to gather the adventurers to catch the bandits together. On the other hand, a member of the hero squad named Mina and Lean is having a problem. While on a mission to escort merchants, they fled because bandits were chasing them. They blame the new beast tamer. He was unreliable because he could only control one animal.
勇者パーティーの私たちが失敗したなんて知られるわけにはいかないの。何度か死んで生き返ってみれば分かってもらえるかしらね。分かったよ!
Kennedy brings reinforcements to catch the bandits. Suddenly, a C-rank king lizard appeared. It went berserk and attacked whoever was there. Rain and Kennedy immediately fought him without hesitation. They managed to beat him by working together. Rain felt that he could do anything when he was with Kennedy. He was grateful to have met her. After catching the bandits, Rain was promoted to E rank. Apart from that, he also received huge monetary rewards. They could enjoy good food and could rent rooms. Because the room at the inn was full, Rain was forced to share a room with Kennedy. Kennedy doesn't mind sleeping with Rain. But Rain felt reluctant to stay there because he might be unable to hold himself back. Kennedy manages to convince him to stay with her. After all, Rain had already rented it for a week. As a rare cat race, many humans want to catch it. They always have a certain motive when approaching it. At the same time, Rain is a good person because he sincerely helps Kennedy and is always by her side. The next day, Rain gets a mission to deal with troublemakers on the South Bridge. She always challenges anyone who crosses the bridge, so the bridge can no longer be used. Because the reward was big enough, Rain and Kennedy went there. Once there, they find a dragon that can turn into a human.
強いやつの気配がするわ。あんたたち、私と勝負しなさい。
The dragon race immediately challenged them to fight with her. The dragon race was named Tania. Tania was much stronger than the two of them. Even though Rain and Kennedy had teamed up, their strength wasn't enough to beat her.
三教授同士ほぼ互角。
They almost died hit by flames from Tania. Rain is planning something to defeat her. When Kennedy confronts her, Rain uses a bird to attack Tania.
相手をするのはこいつらだ。
僕、鬱陶しいんだけど。
Suddenly, Tania couldn't move because the bird was a poisonous species, so Tania admitted defeat. As the winner, Rain asks Tania to promise not to challenge anyone who crosses the bridge again. Rain brought Tania to the city area at the same time, told the Adventurers Guild that the mission was over. But Rain keeps Tania a secret so she doesn't get punished. Tania must train to become stronger, and because of that, she wants to contract with Rain and follow his adventures. On the other hand, without Rain, the hero group is in trouble. So Arios intends to invite Rain back. Then Rain will be kicked out again after the mission is over. Because slimes are weak monsters, many adventurers ignore them, so the slimes multiply and destroy the villagers' fields. Rain takes on a slime extermination mission. Even though they looked everywhere, they couldn't find any slime. Rain used his beast tamer's extraordinary power. He transferred his consciousness to the bird and then flew to find the whereabouts of the slimes. At the same time, his body is guarded by Tania with Kennedy. After the slimes were found, Tania suggested Rain use fire magic to exterminate them.
Fireball!
Rain's magic power had increased. It was because he had tamed the dragon race. At night they had dinner together, and Tania and Kennedy asked about Rain's past. They want to know all about it so they can understand each other. Rain comes from a village whose citizens are beast tamers. Rain learned beast tamer from his parents. One day his village was attacked by monsters until there was nothing left. Since then, Rain has lived in other people's houses as a maid and has a hard life. A group of heroes invited him, but he was only used and betrayed. The next day they went on a mission to defeat the orcs. As one of the strongest races, Tania felt she would not lose, so she acted recklessly without regard for her safety. Luckily, Rain and Kennedy immediately helped her. But Rain was slightly injured. Tania feels guilty and apologizes to him. Rain was not angry at all and treated her well. Since then, Tania has fallen in love with him.
タニアが無事でよかったよ。
なんだろう、レインの顔が頭から離れない。これじゃまるで私、レインのこと。
When a group of heroes intercepted Rain and the others on their way, Arios invited Rain to join them and conquer the Lost Forest. Even though Arios and the others needed Rain, their attitude was still the same. Rain was considered a lowly beast tamer that was useless in battle. Their goal is to get the Shield of Truth in the Lost Forest, which is very useful when fighting the Demon King. Rain had no choice but to accept their invitation for the safety of the people. But Kennedy and Tania disagreed and asked them to apologize while prostrating.
土下座しなさい。頭を地面に押し付けてお願いすれば助けてあげてもいいわ。
That made Arios and his partner angry. They blamed Rain for not teaching his pet manners. He couldn't accept it when they belittled Kennedy and Tania, so Rain immediately punched the bastard hero.
獣に発情するなんてさすがビーストで何度でも殴ってやるよ。侮辱するやつは絶対許さない。
Ultimately, they decided to fight each other to determine who was stronger. Kennedy fought the knight. She immediately attacked first with a series of attacks. The secret moves used by the opponent can also be easily dodged. Kennedy explains that she hasn't used half of her strength yet. Hearing that, he is immediately frightened and loses the battle.
どうしたの？反撃してこないの？勇者パーティーってこんなもんなんだ。
何もできない雑魚に従っているんだ。
Tanya can cancel all the magic used by Mina and Lean. Tanya not only cornered her opponents but also managed to embarrass them for having dared to insult Rain. In the end, Tanya bullied them by showing high-level magic.
アルティメットエンド。謝る。だから入れて。よかった。あら、だらしないわね。
Rain was fighting against Arios, and Arios' ability as a hero was very weak. Besides having a powerful attack, Rain can also paralyze his opponent by controlling a poisonous bee. Arios became desperate and begged him for mercy.
全部お前がバカにしたビーストテーマーの力だよ。止め！これで終わりか。
After defeating the hero, Rain decided to take up their mission. He roamed the Lost Forest to get the Shield of Truth. Then they started exploring the forest. Then he used the birds to find the right path. After being traced, they instead returned to their original place. Tanya also realized that someone was emitting illusion magic that got them lost. They could get to their destination if they could ward off the magic. The object they were looking for was inside the tree, and when Kennedy and Tanya were about to destroy it, a fairy suddenly appeared and asked them to get out of there. Her name is Sora.
俺はレイン。後ろの二人は俺の仲間で。
立ち去りなさい。
The fairy race considers humans to be enemies who always destroy the forest. Therefore, they do not believe in humans and are always hostile to them. Rain was still trying to persuade her. He wanted to earn her trust by receiving her attacks.
排除を開始します。イリュージョンアロー。
Kennedy and Tanya also tried to convince her that Sora had calmed down and would talk to them. After being told the reason for their arrival, she immediately handed them the Shield of Truth. Rain felt bad that it was too easy to get. Besides that, he realized that Sora had a problem. Rain is willing to help her out of gratitude for giving him the shield. It turns out that Sora has a younger sister named Luna. She was captured by Shadow Knights of the Demon King's army. Even though the fairy race is the strongest, they cannot fight against it because the Shadow Knights are immune to magic attacks. After hearing the story, Rain, along with the others, decided to help her. They managed to find Luna, who was being held hostage. Rain and Kennedy attack to distract him, while Tanya saves Luna. The two of them managed to injure the Shadow Knight with physical attacks, but it still couldn't beat him. Rain uses the Beast Tamer boost ability to increase Kennedy's attack power. Because she becomes stronger, one punch is enough to defeat the enemy. After that, they returned to meet Sora. Sora was grateful for all the help from those who had saved her little sister. Because the residents of the fairy race had abandoned them, Sora and Luna decided to get acquainted. They want to go with Rain and make a contract with him.
これからよろしくお願いします。主人様。
Rain returned to meet the heroes to give them the Shield of Truth. Arios didn't expect that he could conquer the Lost Forest in 2 days. After checking, they could confirm that the shield was genuine, so Rain asked for a reward and left immediately. A knight invites him to return to the hero squad, but Rain refuses because he already has 4 beauties beside him. According to legend, only heroes can defeat the Demon King. They had the blood of gods to evolve beyond human limitations. The same thing happened to Rain. After contracting with various races, he gained new powers and became even stronger. Rather than relying on a bastard hero, Kennedy and the others suggest Rain should he defeat the Demon Lord instead. Since Rain had quite a lot of money, he planned to buy new equipment. When walking in the middle of the city, Sora and Luna looked scared. They were very worried that humans realized that they were a race of fairies. Meanwhile, Kennedy and Tanya are used to humans and even help each other. They arrived at the weapons shop owned by the best blacksmith in town. He was a dwarf named Grants. While observing the weapons in the shop, Rain realized that the weapons there weren't that good. Grants explained that he wanted to test buyers so they could be more careful in choosing weapons. Almost all of the weapons there were ordinary weapons, while the best weapons he makes are not sold carelessly. He wants his best weapons to be used by someone who understands weaponry. Because Rain could find out about his weapon, Grants was willing to make one for him. He needed mithril, but recently mined mithril had suddenly disappeared. So Grants asked Rain to investigate mithril mining. Maybe someone stole the mithril. The location of the mine was not too far away, but Sora and Luna were immediately exhausted because their stamina was so low. Incidentally, the location is close to the lake. Rain also allows them to rest and swim in that place. Sora and Luna felt jealous of their boobs because they were so big. Suddenly, a fish bit Candy's tail. Because Candy shouted to make Rain rush to get there, Rain saw the beauty of their bodies in the end. They didn't mind it and continued on their way to the mine. When they arrived at their destination, they found many adventurers who looked suspicious. Kanade and Tanya immediately beat him. Then Sora investigated using memory magic, and the adventurers stole mining products. The adventurers had known of Rain's arrival with the others, so they immediately attacked them. But the attack was successfully eliminated by Sora and Luna. They were even able to catch the enemies that were there. The adventurer turned out to be a beast tamer. He summoned a B-rank behemoth. Even though the power is very strong, the attack is too simple so that Rain can avoid it. Rain was worried that the mine would collapse. Therefore, he tried to overwrite Behemoth's contract with a new contract of his own, so that the monster can be tamed and no longer attack. The adventurer didn't accept it, and he provoked him until he was out of control. Rain had no choice but to kill him, otherwise the place would collapse. The hero group is holding a recruitment drive, looking for a beast tamer. He was looking for someone equal to Rain or at least able to fight alone. Because Rain has a special talent, no one is equal to him. It seems that Arios has a grudge against Rain. He intends to finish Rain before setting out on a trip to another city. Rain returned to Grants' shop to hand over the mithril to him so he could make the best weapon. After that, Rain took Sora and Luna around town, and suddenly the mayor's son, Edgar, became interested in Sora and Luna. Rain didn't want to give up his two beautiful girls to Edgar. Because Rain fought him, Edgar ordered his subordinates to take the residents as hostages. Rain was worried about the safety of the residents, so to overcome it, he attacked all of them using successive spells. After his troops were defeated, Edgar gave up and chose to retreat. While Rain received a lot of praise from residents, according to reports circulating, Edgar often detained women he liked and committed violence. Rain and the others would not just let it go. They reported it to the Knights' headquarters, but all matters related to the ruler were not accepted. It could be concluded that Edgar had conspired with the Knights. After leaving there, suddenly, the Vice Knight commander named Stella met them. The reason for her arrival is to cooperate and prove Edgar's crimes. Even though Stella is the vice commander of the Knights, there are only a few people she can trust, so she needs Rain's help. After knowing the situation, Rain decided to help her. They chose to defeat the Knights by setting a trap by creating rumors of evidence of Knight collusion with Edgar. Rain was able to trick Knight into entering a warehouse on the outskirts of town. After they all entered the warehouse, Rain paralyzed them all using his new weapon. On the other hand, Arios provides special tools that can be used against Rain. Then there is one of the strongest races. She is the god race named Nina. She is held captive by Edgar and made his slave. On the other hand, Rain and the others are trying to save the hostages at the city lord's residence. They feel that there is extraordinary power there. It turns out that the power comes from Nina. Rain immediately destroys the prison and meets Nina. Nina couldn't disobey Edgar's orders because she had a slave necklace around her neck. Rain feels the necklace has the same magic spell as the Beast Tamer. Rain tries to destroy the magic spell so that Nina can be free. On the other hand, Kanade and Tanya fight against the knights guarding the city lord's residence. Fighting such a large army was relatively easy for the strongest races. After Sora and Luna successfully moved all the hostages to a safe place, they met Kanade with Tanya. Then they got together with Rain, and when they managed to catch the mayor, Edgar suddenly cast an instant death magic on Rain. Arios thought that Rain was dead, but he was still alive. He has a negative effect cancelling ability. Luna can ensure that by giving her negative magic. As a result, Rain was not injured at all. All that could happen was because he had tamed the fairy race. Edgar wonders why Rain didn't die. He also feels hopeless and fears that everything that belongs to him will be taken away. The negative feelings rising within him caused Edgar to be swallowed up and awaken a demon. The demon immediately headed to the city center. He attacked the city and made the residents run scared. Rain cooperates with his friends to stop the demon. They attacked simultaneously but were still unable to defeat the demon. Rain increases Kennedy's strength with Tania so they can launch consecutive attacks. The demon countered their attack by summoning many monsters to destroy the city. If left unchecked, the lives of the residents will not be saved. Sora and Luna decide to evacuate the residents with teleportation magic. Meanwhile, the hero squad stayed silent at the headquarters and did nothing. Arios forbade his friends from heading to the battlefield. He wanted Rain to die at the hands of the demon. Meanwhile, the adventurers have a special mission to help Rain defeat the monsters attacking the city. Grants gave him a quality sword made by himself. This way, they can fight to the fullest. They don't need a cowardly hero to protect the city. Nina didn't want to keep running away, so she decided to help Rain with her strength. As a race of gods, she can manipulate space, so she can teleport and move Rain so he can approach the demon. Rain tries to control all the monsters with his beast tamer powers. He controls the monsters so he can finish off the demons. In the end, the demon vanished, eaten by the monsters. A few days later, Rain contracted with one of the strongest races, the God race, so Nina officially became Rain's fifth wife. After exposing the mayor's son's crimes and defeating a demon, Rain was promoted to C-rank adventurer. In addition, he was also entitled to a huge amount of rewards. Since his group has increased, Rain wants to find a house so he can live comfortably. Natalie also found a lovely house to suit Rain's needs. However, a ghost lives there, so Natalie suggests Rain check first. They encounter a ghost wearing a maid's uniform named Tina. She forces them to leave the house and continues to frighten Kennedy. But they were able to trap her so she couldn't escape to the spirit world. Because she is not an evil ghost, Rain also wants to be friends with her and live together in the house. Arios ordered the merchants to prepare food for his squad. They were enraged that the hero squad wasn't around when the city was in danger. They call the hero squad cowards and are distrusted by all the citizens. They recognized Rain as a hero. Now Rain feels happy because he lost everything before, but now he is no longer alone and has a beautiful girl who faithfully accompanies him. And that is the end of the video. Remember to subscribe and like this video, so see you in the next video.